Welcome back, guys. We finally beat the hard mode, so as you can see, we unlocked the Dragon Dungeon. Dragon Dungeon is really hard, so that's not something that you can directly beat. The early stages are not that hard, but it makes no sense. You need specific dragon sigils. You can only get them by farming the story stages in extreme mode. I'm not there yet. As you can see, I just unlocked it. In hard mode, nothing much was going on, but when you are beating the Star Sanctuary, then there is one thing that is really important, which is unlocking. That's when you want to ascend something. Let's say you're lacking firestones, the middle ones. Now you can divide them, and that's a really important one. So we are going for 50. And we are able to ascend the Draker. That's something that will be used a lot in general, so now you can simply farm or try to farm the highest stones and divide them. And yeah, this is how it looks so far. I'm still using exactly the same monsters. The Mona is there, the Draker, the Cura, and my choice was the Jormungandr. Maybe for you there is a different one. And from this point onwards, you will also get stronger, because let's say this one is level 60. You have the chance to enhance your monsters. It will take, let's say, this one as an example. Okay, so we killed one monster basically now. It's not an important one, the Arthur. Like, you are already basically getting the Light Evo 3 for free, so it's not a big deal to kill one. The advantage is, here you can go now for enhancing. Okay, that was a bit unlucky. Again, we are getting attack, we are keeping that. Resist is not needed. And another attack. So you can see 5 out of 20, it's not that much, and we are going here. We can change it and hope for a better one. Since we are not having too many, we will keep it like it is. The good ones in the beginning are obviously for attack monsters, the attack ones. There is crit damage, crit rate. There is, depending on, let's see, defense, HP. And you can get flat or percentage. On most of these monsters in the beginning, the flat ones will be better. If you want to have an exact idea, for HP the threshold is 30,000 HP, and for defense it's 3,000. Everything above that means that the percentage is stronger. Keep in mind, this is not a fully made one. You can still go for Evo 3, you can super ascend them, and so on and so forth. So for that you will have to basically take a look in general, like there are websites or ask, or you can also, like, if you want to have it very easy, you're going here, for example. Here you have a fully built Mona. Then here you can basically deduct how strong she actually is. It's not the best way, but if you don't have access to anything else, that's also still working. So yeah, that's what we will do now. We will slowly ascend them, slowly. When they are getting rid of the attackers, we will enhance them a bit, don't overdo it. Same with this one. She will be the next one that is getting the ascension. You can see I'm lacking some highest dark stones here, so it has to wait for a moment. But all the experience is going now into the Draker. Basically, when you're using these 4 monsters, all of them are getting some experience. If one of them is at their current maximum level, the experience will just go over to another one. Since I have 3 that are fully done, the experience of all 3 of them is going over to the Draker, so he's basically getting 4 times the experience. That's how you play in general. You're always only leveling one monster at a time because it's getting the full experience. Okay, so we have beaten the first 2 continents on extreme right now. So you can see here with the missions. So yeah, there is some stuff that is going on right now that was unlocked. For example here, the Ancient Dungeon. But I don't think I can beat it right now. I think it's still too early for that. Just for the fun of it, we can test it so that you can see the content in general. My guess is there is no chance beating it. Well, damage is actually more than I was expecting, but it won't be enough. I think it's one of the contents which is basically immune to zap. It's healing. You can see it here. Decreases the amount of damage taken from zap, so we're at a big disadvantage. That combined with the heal, no chance at all. But at least that's one of the content that you will beat on a daily base. The elements are changing, but that's still a tiny bit too early. It needs to be a bit more focused on what we are fighting so that we are able to beat it. Another thing that opened up is the Void Dungeon. That one is a lot more important for us right now because that's something where we can directly improve. I want to have the light one. For me right now it's important to get the left one here. We have two attackers, so we want to get more damage, and that's the one where you're getting the attack stat increased. The thing itself is pretty simple. You're fighting it 3 times with 4 monsters. And let's see how we are doing it. Is there any leader skill? There is an attack lead. I'll just put them in for now. The last team will be this one. It's probably with a different lead, I guess. Yeah, with the Cura. This one will be with the Mona, so we have our good monsters split up. Here it should be fine. I'm lacking an attacker. We're just trying with double zap. The first one usually should be very easy, but since I'm not 100% sure, you can basically also add another skill here, but for the first one it's not needed. It's costing gold and all that. That's something that you will need on the higher stages, but here it's not that important right now. Let's see. Like I said, the first stage is more or less a free one. But, I mean, we are not having too much options, so this one is the most interesting one. It's immune to zap. Oh, luckily it doesn't matter. Balanced, even a good one. Yeah, so that's basically the important one for now. We are going back. And we are sweeping it. One attack. What is this? That's also a good one. You can even reset it once if you want to. But no void stones. So that's a really important one. The next stuff that we will tackling is the next continent and then the continent afterwards. After beating the Aurora Plateau on hard, I think, we can do the Dimensional Rift. Yes, Aurora Plateau on hard. It's also an important one, so that's basically part of the daily stuff. Doing the Ancient Dungeon, doing the Void Dungeon, and doing the Dimensional Rift. Let me quickly show you what I have at this point. Somehow we ended up in some guide. Okay, so this one, crit damage is better on the Draco. Mona isn't ready yet, you need to be level 60. Probably, I don't have enough fruits. Then we are obviously leveling that one up. So you can see it's really increasing your attack by a lot. Then afterwards we go for the middle and then for the right one, but first we will go for the attack one. Yeah, the Mona still has to wait for a bit longer. And yeah, those are still the 4 monsters that I'm using. At some point I really have to start taking care of the Cura because she's also still only Evo 1. It's normal that the Jormungandr is still Evo 1. It's not 5 and it's not that easy to get it. But I was basically rushing through the whole thing. So you can see I'm still having all these eggs and all that stuff. So yeah, time to tackle the next one. Okay, so we have finally beaten up to hard mode of the 3rd continent. You can see the next mission would be Skyfalls Extreme. So let's do a quick review at what point I am right now. You can see we have the Mona here. She's now really well built. It's the set that the game was giving us from finishing the missions. Crit damage, crit rate, attack. I would have liked to have attack, crit rate, but that's what the game is giving you, so you have to make use of the crit damage gem for now. I was giving them some trinkets. So you can see it really doesn't matter what kind of trinkets you are getting. These are 2-star ones. They're just extra stats and they are very cheap. And from the Void Dungeons, we were just getting now a full set of them. You can also make use of the blue ones. They are not expensive. Just to directly get the extra stuff. In case you have some books for the Mona already, you can give it to her. The Draca is basically the same. It's the second set that I was getting also from the missions. This set here is also from the mission, so basically we are just putting on the mission stuff on them. And those were the 3 void crystals that I was getting as well. I was refreshing that once in the beginning so that I have at least the base. And yeah, these are our 2 main attackers, and with the 2 main attackers there will be 2 other monsters. As you can see, both of them are level 60 now and the other 2 are level 50. Now we can decide, do we want to make one of them level 60 or do we want to focus on something else? And that's exactly what we will do. We will focus on something different now because there is some content coming where those monsters are not helping that much. Let's say there is at least monsters that are helping beating it a lot easier. Funny enough, you can do that with some Net 2 and Net 3 monsters. Let me quickly show you some of them so that you have a rough idea what we are talking about. This one here, the Fungor, is a very good one. We will need the resistance down. That's a really important skill for some of this content. Added a heal and an attack up. Obviously very nice. We have 2 skills that are very strong. The only downside of the Fire Fungor is that you can't catch it. So basically you have to get it from X. Then let me see what is another resistance down monster that is really good. The second best in my opinion is the Fire Fungur, the Dark Mushi. It has a resistance down and a decent zap. Both are skills that are used, so it's also not a waste to go for this one. Same downside, you have to hatch it from X. The third best is most likely the Khotine. Resist down and dominance. Dominance is already not that great. It's nice to have some extra SP gain, but it's small. Like, the big point about the Khotine is just it has resist down and it's a healer, while the leader skill is also usable. And if you're unlucky and you're not getting any of the three, my suggestion would be the water. Let me check where it is. Where's this Whalewrath thing? There. The Otari. Same here, it has a resistance down and it has an attack down. It's again a usable passive skill and a usable active skill plus the resist down. The leader skill obviously is also really good if you are getting it, like really good. So those are the four options that we have for the resistance down, except if you are getting the net 5 that has it, but I don't think there's any net 5 worth that you could simply get. There's basically, out of my mind, just Light Nightmare and Light Griffin, and the Griffin you can't get, it's an event monster, and obviously for a Light Nightmare you need to have a lot of luck to get a net 5 and then a very specific one, so we are not talking about those, we are talking about stuff that is available for everyone. So none of these are basically wasted resources, we just need a monster that has resistance down, because the next content that we will tackle is the tower, and we will need to keep some monsters in stun lock. So yeah, one of the targets will be one of those four in exactly the same raw that I was showing you. Basically the best one is the Fire Fungur. Let me show you again. This guy here. And if you want to see if some of them are catchable, you can see it here. It's their story habitat. Nothing written here. Can only be summoned. Keep in mind that if you're looking at the Evo 3, it will tell you where you are able to catch the Evo 3. So better always going for the early ones. So yeah, like I said, this is the best one and it's very versatilely usable. Then we have the Dark Mushi. See, same here, can only be summoned. Next best, the Khotine. No Evo 3, no Evo 1. And the only one that is basically catchable on the story mode is the Otari. That's this boy here. You can see here, for example, Glacial Plains, but I think you can also get it somewhere else. Maybe only in Glacial Plains, but obviously also from X in case you're opening some. And another monster that we need is something that is actually doing the stun lock. The best one for that would be the Wood Bear, but you're only getting it from the last continent, so you might not have access to it directly in the beginning, and obviously it's also not that easy to get 16 Evo 3, 16 or copies in general, but it has basically with books 100% chance for 3-turn stun plus zap and a decent leader skill. So that one is the best one that you can get. Keep in mind it's based on crits, so it needs to have a crit rate gem. The next best one in my opinion is the Light Gorse. Where is it? There. This one is catchable. Star Century. It's basically a tiny bit weaker than the Wood Bear. The concept is basically the same. It has a crit based on it has a stun based on crits, and with books it has a 2-turn stun. It's also really good. The second skill is Sleep, which is also usable but not as strong since it only has a 1 turn. It would be very nice if it would get a second turn, but yeah, Sleep monsters, basically if you attack them you're always critting, but obviously the debuff is consumed and it's not crowd controlled anymore. So yeah, that's the second best. If you say, I don't want to have monster which is based on crit, then the next best one would most likely be that wolf. Where is it? Here, this one, the light tie. It has shock. That has the extra advantage that defense is also reduced. With books, it has a 70% for 2 turns, and I think it was 80. Yes, 80% for 2 turns is also really good, and a usable leader skill. So these are the options. Let's say you are not able to directly get the bear, then one of those two are the options. Both are catchable in the Star Century. Yeah, that's what we will take a look now. Are we able to get one of those or not? Let's take a look. They are not having a high star, so let's say for example this one is 3 to 5 stars. It's too high already, so we will only open the small ones, starting with the light and dark ones. Maybe we are getting something there already. Sadly not. The Fungar is also not bad. Then we are keeping an eye on those. First look, nothing. And again. Nothing. Now we still have the normal light and dark eggs. They can get 3 stars, so we could get the Mushi here. Okay, that's not what I was expecting. From the sheet eggs in that 5, of course. Nope. We're also not getting anything here. So can't be helped. So our route will be getting the Otari, and I will most likely go, let me think, with the... I will have the attack down with the Otari, so... I will go with the Gauss, I guess. Let me quickly check. I have no 6-star crit rate. It's not that great. Should have been a 6-star, but at least intuition. The 20% extra crit rate is really helping here a lot. Let's take a look if we have HP and defense gems here. Yes. Sadly not with extra crit rate, but that set is good enough. Then we are going for the Gauss and... Yes, Gauss and Otari. For the Otari you also have to obviously progress a bit more in the story, so the tower needs to wait for a tiny bit longer. Okay, we are now at the point that we have both of our monsters for the tower done. You can see here is the Gauss. As I said, it's very important to get the crit rate high. It's 99%, that's the best that you can do at the moment, and this 1% doesn't matter anyway. The other 2 gems are... I was using an attack gem, I would have liked to avoid that, but my defense and HP gems were not getting any crit rate, so I was using an attack gem here. The survivability should still be fine, and an HP gem plus the crit rate gem. It's important, most likely the crit rate gem is plus 15. As you say, we are at nearly 100% crit rate. And the other one is the Otari. It's a bit sad that I was not getting any other monster. I mean, just for the fun of it, we can take a look. And that's not the one. I also don't think from one of the eggs I'm getting a Fire Fungo. Guess it was just use this Mimic, and then we have 3 normal eggs left that I can't open because I have no gold. So yeah, that will be our setup. You can see I'm basically done with the Slumbering City and Sky Falls. We are entering here the Glacial Plains and the Aurora Plateau. In the Glacial Plains you can get the Otari in case you were not getting the other ones that I mentioned before. And the next thing that we will do is the Tower of Chaos. Usually you will do the Tower of Chaos in the first weekend in the month because it's free, but for your first round you will most likely not be able to make use of that. Like for example, for me right now it's the 21st of February, so it's more or less closer to the end of the month. So I missed it already. In case you are starting your account or coming back to the game somewhere around in the beginning of the week, then you can obviously make use of the free entries. If not, the rewards are so good that you are still doing it. So yeah, that's it with this video, and now we will tackle the tower in the next one.